You're born, you take shit. Get out in the world, you take more shit. Climb a little higher, take less shit. Till one day you're up in the rarefied atmosphere and you've forgotten what shit even looks like. Welcome to the layer cake, son.
From the left side.
The outstanding young warrior that he appears to be, to me, and I'm never wrong, ever. Not with these perceptions. When it comes to a fighter, I know them when I see them because I am one.
And here, up until this point, I thought Eubank was starting to find his feet in the fight.
When someone staggers like that, it means they've been looking at bling, they've been looking at money, they've been looking at girls.
The shot that does the big damage, big left.
They think it's easy.
What do you want, son? What are you after? A shot at the title? A seat by the band? You know why people like you can't leave this business? Because you make too much money for people like me. I'll give you a clue. Eddie.
It's not fun and games no more. You know, if you're in my way, I'm gonna iron you out. My whole career I dealt with, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. What about now?
That's your opinion. You're not proving it. That's your opinion. This is your chance to do that.
He's them real G, not one feel me, half he's hate me, half he's feel me, can't give a fuck though, I never crumble, you can ask real G, you can ask them man, if we let skank back.
I'm too hungry, and I'm a savage.
Know you on the outside looking like it, none is worried about the danger that I put my life in.
Welcome back to Boxing Stars' electrifying tale of the fight episodes, where fierce competitors clash in the pursuit of glory, honor, and the ultimate victory. On this momentous occasion, the anticipation reaches its zenith as two boxing prodigies step into the ring to settle a long-standing rivalry and carve their names into the annals of sporting history.
There's no stress, got smoke, and my lifestyle's definitely wild. Ten fuck boys still catching me in traffic, seat back, lean in, shot right rapid.
If he pulls off a miracle and beats me,
It ain't gonna take a miracle.
no, it is. If you do it, I have to retire.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a showdown of epic proportions as Eubank Jr. and Ben prepare to engage in a battle that will leave spectators on the edge of their seats. This is not merely a fight, it's an encounter that transcends generations, as the legendary lineage of their respective boxing families ignites a fire of passion and determination. Brace yourselves for the Eubank Jr. versus Ben fight, where power, skill, and sheer will collide, leaving only one victor standing tall at the end of an unforgettable night.
Talking about a rivalry that's lasted generations now, do you know what I mean? And I'm just putting myself in the position of the boys there, and there's a lot of pressure. You know, so you're looking at entertainment from start to finish. Probably you're looking at it being electric. You get me? I'll be there, man. I'll be there, soaking it up. It could be the event of the year, I think.
I prepare the same way I prepared for everyone else, and that's full steam ahead. And when
Me, on the other hand,
I'm the type to pull it out and
won't be
dump me at
preparing.
18. He the type to pull it out to stunt in the racing. Son, that's kid play. Barrel in his face, I've been looking like that.
But after everything that happened, now it's extremely personal. He put me through what he put me through while he was doing what he was doing, and I'm never going to forget that, ever. It's just annoying that I've dedicated and stayed true my whole life, and you've got so many of these guys out here cutting corners, all these stories coming out about guys failing drugs tests, and I'm here 10 years, never failed anything. It's disheartening, it's upsetting, it's disappointing, because kids are reading these headlines and they think, oh, well, Conor Benn did it, Amir Khan did it, I'm gonna do it. I put too much hard work into the sport, I've dedicated my life to it, so for someone to then try and take that away with, oh, well, the only reason you've done what you've done is because you were juicing, that would destroy me, that would devastate me, so that's why I've always kept so far away from it. I have a lot of pressure, having that name and having this expectation. It's what I've been fighting for.
my entire career.
The big fight this weekend is off. Conor Benn against Chris Eubank Jr. Confirmation after Benn failed a drugs test. He was found to have taken a fertility drug.
For people to think I can be that guy, to go from this kid who's worked hard and one of the people, to then all of a sudden becoming this serial liar, cheater overnight. It was hard for me to accept that people would see me that way. The reality is I called Eubanks and told him. I called him up myself and I was distraught. You could tell I was distraught on the phone. I'd never do this. It's not who I am, it's not what I stand for. I never want to inflict damage. I'd rather lose a fight than seriously hurt someone, because I don't think I could live with it. I'd rather lose a fight than know I've put someone in the coma who's got a family. Because I've seen the damage. I've seen it cause pain. I've seen it hurt people. So it's like, what's losing a fight? Yeah, I'm a spiteful, vicious fighter. Yeah, I love to, get the knockout. But I don't want to, paralyze. I don't want to hurt no one. The intention was never to hurt Chris. I've got a heart. Anyone who, I'm spiteful. I'm fit but vicious and, brutal who looks like he could do some serious damage. Look at it from a moral perspective. First off, you look at Eddie. Have I got it in me to look Eddie in the eye? Look Tony in the eye. Look Vic and Eli in the eye. Look my dad in. I'm breaking down in the interview. You can't. I'm not. This ain't a game to me. This is my character. This is who I am. You've seen me over the years. I don't just all of a sudden go from being who I was, then all of a sudden this liar who wants to inflict some serious damage and this heartless coward.
Conor Benn has been cleared of a failed drugs test by the World Boxing Council. The WBC determined that Benn's adverse finding was a result of a highly elevated consumption of eggs, which they deemed to be a reasonable explanation.
The WBC have just recently reinstated him into their rankings. Can you explain a little bit about how that's happened?
Yeah, the clean boxing program for our call has finished, and we put out a press release which is self-explanatory, and he will be reinstated next month on the rank.
Eubank Jr., a young and tenacious fighter, hails from a lineage of boxing greatness. Born into a family of pugilists, his father, Eubank Sr., was a renowned champion who left an indelible mark on the sport. Following in his father's footsteps, the heir to the throne embarked on a quest to etch his own name in the annals of boxing history. On the other side is Conor Benn, a rising star with an unmistakable hunger for victory. Son of the legendary Nigel Benn, a boxing legend himself, he grew up amidst the echoes of his father's triumphs and the pressure to carry forward the family legacy.
He's perfectly capable of running.
Armed with natural talent and relentless determination, Benn aimed to forge his own path and prove that he was more than just a name.
This is once in a lifetime. This is a fantasy fight for the British public. I mean, forget about how far apart we were when I first turned pro.
Yeah, you're not
That's your
proving
opinion.
it. You're not proving it.
That's your opinion.
This is your chance to do that.
If I were you, I'd get out of here, man. Because I'm gonna fucking hit you all.
It's man to man. I mean, that's what this puff game used to be all about. I like a good old-fashioned 50-50 next to me. That's how we used to play.
I'll be 60% on the night, and that will be enough to do whatever I want with you. I won't be 100% on the night.
You will say you won't be. No, I will. Oh, come on, mate. I see. You know what that screams? That screams excuses.
You've got balls, kid. You've got some big old balls.
You'll find out, mate. Don't you worry about that. You'll find out.
I don't see the pedigree and the grade that people are giving you. I don't see it.
Okay, but
maybe I'm wrong.
But then no one sees it in you. The self-belief is one hell of a thing, isn't it?
Maybe they don't.
Borderline delusional.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've been called delusional my whole career.
So have I, mate.
It's mad to think you can walk through me,
You've got to be confident, eh?
Yeah, delusional. Yeah.
We're both just a bunch of delusional motherfuckers, huh?
Yeah.
It's okay. So we're both just two delusional guys.
Oh, that's fine.
And I guess we're going to find out who's the most delusional in a couple of months.
I mean, listen, the names are there. But the thing is the apple don't fall far from the tree. He's like his old man, and it goes without saying that I'm exactly like my old man. And, that's why this fight is such a fantasy fight for the general public, not just the boxing fans, but the general public who followed my dad's and Eubank Sr.'s career. I'm going to set the score straight. I know people keep talking about the weight difference. I ain't concerned in the slightest. I believe I have my hand raised at the end of all this.
Conor is going to come unstuck in this fight. He's not a chilled guy. He doesn't know how to relax. He doesn't know how to not let things emotionally affect him.
Losing to Chris Eubank Jr. just doesn't come in your mind at all?
Nah, it doesn't come into my mind at all, losing. But I don't think it can as a fighter. You know, there's a borderline between delusional and confidence, and I think you have to have a bit of both, but I work extremely hard, and I know what I'm capable of. I know every fighter says that, but I've proven delivered every single time. You know, don't get me wrong, it's my toughest fight to date, but listen, I'm gonna go in there and do what I do, go in there and steam into him.
The public know what I'm capable of. They know what happens when I get into the trenches, when I get into, you know, hard fights against tough opponents. They know how I fight. They know how I rise to the occasion. Conor Benn is an unknown. He hasn't been through adversity. He hasn't fought dangerous opponents. He hasn't proven himself yet. This is his chance to step out of his father's shadow. In my mind, it's impossible for you to win, but I like that people are saying that you can beat me, because it just gives me that extra kick up the arse to get up and do what I need to do to get ready for this fight.
When I look at my dad, he reminds me of my DNA, what's in me, what my bloodline is. That's how I feel my dad's with me. Irrelevant of everything else. Irrelevant of the upbringing, irrelevant of, you know, the boxing training, irrelevant of the school. What's in here? What's in my veins? And I am my dad. There's no two ways about it. I mean, sometimes I wish I wasn't. Even the worst parts of my dad I have. Even the greatest traits I have. I am my dad's son. For the good and the bad. Him being there reminds me, I am you.
This fight is personal. You know, the things that his father put my father through, I can't forgive and I can't forget. And I grew up, you know, I watched.
I'd been winded two or three times, which leaves you exhausted anyway. My ribs were bruised. I urinated blood for probably 2-3 days.
I don't know, I'm in too much pain to talk, really.
What? Pain?
I'm in too much pain to talk.
The mental stress and the toll it took on him preparing for those fights. I watched the injuries and my mother having to look after him after the fights and him going to hospital and him losing half of his tongue.
Boom, and he's hit me with this uppercut. It was like a 1/2-inch gash in my tongue. And if I would have told the referee or my corner that I was swallowing all this blood, or they would have seen that cut, the fight would have been stopped in accordance to the fact that blood curdles, and that could have stopped me breathing.
The body shots clearly hurting him.
Me winning this fight clarifies and cements the Benn legacy, in my opinion. The last fight I believe my dad should have won.
114 to 114, even a draw, the decision.
Yes, it's a draw. Well,
draw.
I think, you know, some people might have a word and some people do.
I mean, the whole world believes that. So, you know, the fact that it was a draw, you know, it's time for the Sons to sell the business and set the score straight. And, you know, I believe without a shadow of a doubt, I'm gonna have my hand raised at the end of this.
Conor maybe does have real dynamite in the hands, the way in which he stopped Algieri here.
He hit him with a shot that was, you know, it's heavy. He's heavy-handed. Conor can, if he can connect with that type of shot against me, I'm gonna smile in his face. I'm not going down like Chris Algieri did.
We can do it Wembley worth September, that's no problem. Listen, I ain't coming back for no warm-up fight. I don't need it. You know, Chris is my warm-up. He just got bingoed. Bad. Put to sleep. Funny dancing a lot.
He didn't know that he could do that. I didn't know that anyone could do that.
I think Conor Benn wins. I think he potentially gets a stoppage or wins on points.
try my best to act like I didn't care, but I can't hold it in. And I'm not in the losing, I go hard as I can go to win.
When I beat you, I don't hear no excuses.
No. When someone staggers like that, it means they've been looking at bling. They've been looking at money. They've been looking at the girls.
You feel I'm talking to hoes again. You breaking the code again. Snacking this bitch with them poles again. You acting bad on the ground, but we know it's gonna happen. It happen in every occasion.
His eyes almost shut, and that's probably the
60% version of Chris Eubank Jr. is not winning this fight. So you better be at more than 60%. But then ultimately you do look at it, this is a fully blown middleweight. A guy who's fought bigger, stronger guys than Conor.
I don't feel no pressure these days. You know, what's not normal is my reality.
So while I can point at advantages for Conor, I can point at advantages for Chris Eubank Jr. as well. It's just, the fact of the matter is, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I'm intrigued. I can't wait. But I genuinely have no idea who's going to win.
It's up to go out there and teach this kid a lesson. Let him know who's boss. Let him know who the Eubanks are.
You know, when I'm sparring middleweights and super middleweights and putting them over, I mean, it makes no difference when I'm going into the ring, you know, around super middle anyway. You know, I'm sparring middleweights and super middleweights. It makes no difference to me. To be honest, I'm only going on based on what me and my team know. Maybe everyone's going, wow, you're a welterweight, you're a 147. You're a normal size 147, you're not even a big 147. I know what I've been doing is I have to fly super middleweight sparring in. So it's, as I said, it makes no difference to me.